do you plan on addressing that power forward spot?
Well, we'll see. I mean, Patrick right now is the leading candidate. Love Pascal, so it's probably going to be a back and forth between those two. Pascal brings energy, defensive flexibility that we like. Patrick's got the veteran leadership and veteran experience at that position, so it's probably going to be a back and forth between those two until Sully comes back.
Does it put any more pressure on a kid like Pascal if you did start him? He's going to get. It sounds like he's going to get minutes either way. But if you had to, I know you like Pat coming off the bench. Right. So
I like Pat coming off the bench, but I also like Pat. I like experience in the game too. So yeah. We'll see. Pascal, I don't think pressure bothers him. He's an energetic kid. His spirit is a lot like Biyombo's as far as his overall game spirit is concerned. But again, the coaches have worked well with him defensively. Coach Klayman, who's in charge of the defense, has done a good job of getting him ready defensively. So we just got to continue to believe in that. That's what he brings to the table. He's not going to be shooting threes and running plays for him. His thing is to rebound, run the floor, have a pick and roll coverage, make sure he's in the right place for that. So a lot of his energy and his stuff is going to come from the defensive end of the floor, his contribution.
Does it change the rebounding makeup of your team, though, to not have a player that you had counted on being in there in Jared?
Not really, because that's one thing I do know that Pascal can bring is some rebounding. Not the physical, wide body rebounding that Jared brings, but the rebounding energy, the rebounding focus he still can bring to the game. So it changed a little bit just from the experience standpoint that Sullinger brings to the table. He started for a playoff team where Pascal is his first rodeo. So that's the difference in those two. But the same defensive energy, same defensive focus to running the floor we'll get from Pascal.
Do you anticipate using DeMar some at the floor? Is that sort of tough to do?
No, we'll do that. No, I'm not. Key now is winning games. If a guy's in uniform, our charge is to win games. And I go back to the argument, everybody says rest. When we rested players last year, we wouldn't have home court. So I understand it's a fine line. And we'll try to get guys minutes strategically throughout the season, but our whole thing now is to look to try to win games.
Have you received any new news on Lucas?
No, he's still sore. We don't know whether he's going to be able to go Wednesday night or not, but today he didn't practice today. Still swollen and sore, so we'll see.
Where have you seen the biggest growth in Siakam since Vancouver?
Just his understanding, the feel, the physicality of the game, the speed of the NBA game. I think he's seen that. He sees that now. Again, it's hard to tell a player in practice what it's going to be like in a game, Michael. But now he understands that now, and those games he started in exhibition, I think, helped.
Does he shoot the ball at all well enough to alleviate spacing?
No, he does. He shoots it well in practice, and if he's open, he can shoot the ball. He stretches out. He works on his three-point shot. That's not his forte right now. His forte is putting pressure on the basket by cutting to the basket, rolling to the hole, running the floor, all those little things like that, Michael. But again, I don't think you could leave him just dead open, naked, and not guard him out there. I think the teams will have to respect that, and he'll be able to knock those shots down.
Is there any silver lining to it in this happening now? You don't want a guy hurt, obviously, but to be able to adjust to it now as opposed to the midstream.
Right. Well, we're more prepared for it now just because we're coming right out of exhibition where Siakam played in exhibition. He, started games in exhibition. There's never a good time for an injury to a starter, but we're ready for it now more so than come toward the end of the season.
Sort of an unusual circumstance for a team that goes into the season with aspirations of making it back to the conference finals to be leaning on one or two rookies in the rotation. Of course, there's the injury situation, but Norm was able to do it last year. What was it about Norm that allowed him to have success doing that, and do you see any of those qualities in Pascal?
Well, one thing that helped Norm last year was the 905. He was able to go down there, get his reps, get his confidence, get his rhythm, you know, and then so it's sort of the same with Pascal here in the exhibition season. Again, there's never a good time for injuries to a starter, but you know that's what we got to deal with. We got to. There's no excuse as far as who's playing. We got to. If the guy's in uniform, he's got to be able to perform and do his job, what he's in the NBA for. And so that's where I look at it. Yes, he's a rookie. Yes, he's going to make mistakes, but you know, it's his job to cut down on those mistakes and try not to make as many. And if you do make a mistake, keep playing, pursue the ball, pursue the play, and make a hard mistake. That's my whole thing. And I understand young guys are going to make mistakes, but the key is, you know, don't hang your head, pout, you know, play through it, get it back next time, you know, in next play mentality.
Just one question from Austria. How
Okay.
do you like Jakob Poeltl and his performance in training camp and preseason?
Jakob is a solid young player. He's been well coached, very fundamentally sound. He's going to get some minutes this year for us as a backup center. He's a very smart player. You know, he has a great feel for the game, great set of hands. And so we look for big things out of him. And again, he's a young kid that is going to make mistakes, but they're hard mistakes. And that's what we like about him also.
Is he an option for the first 2 games?
We'll see. I mean, we'll see where you know what the situation is. If Lucas Nogueira can't go, he's definitely in the rotation. And but we'll see where we fit him in and where his substitution pattern comes.